Tanking is a part of sports, whether we like it or not. It is seen a lot more in the NBA than the NFL, but hey, I'm a football channel, so I want to talk about football. I think that's fair. Some teams have succeeded in tanking, like the Colts in 2011-12, but some do not succeed, like the team I'm going to talk about today. But before I get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. All support is very much appreciated, helps me out a lot. Now, let's get into the video. So I kind of spoiled the team in the last video saying I was going to talk about them. By the way, guys, thank you for all the support in the last one. It did really well. Yeah, that was a complete joke. It has more dislikes than likes. People didn't like that I was talking bad about the Titans and Cowboys, specifically the Titans. I don't know how so many Titans fans found it, but sorry. I just don't think highly of the defense. I will admit I am wrong about Jeffrey Simmons. I didn't mention him at all. Just he's not a good pass rusher, and that's what the team needs, so I didn't feel they need to. But he's a good player. Besides the point, the New York Jets have failed tanking to the fullest this last year. Let's start with a little background. At the beginning of the season, it was obvious the Jets were trying to tank for Trevor Lawrence. He was seen as the best, most polished quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck and or Peyton Manning. I don't blame teams and everyone for thinking that, because I agree as well. I hope most people do. The whole team was just playing terribly, with some bright spots in upcoming star Quinn Williams, safety Marcus May, Jameson Crowder wasn't bad, rookie Mekhi Becton, for example. For who was probably their best player in CJ Mosley, he missed all of 2020 because he opted out due to COVID. So that took a huge hit on the defense, already making them a lot worse. However, like I said, there were some bright spots on the team, especially defense. Quinn Williams really came out as a player, and after a not-so-great rookie season, where some labeled him a bust after just a year. Side note, that's got to stop. It's hard for 21, 23-year-olds to just come in and be the best player you've ever seen, no matter their draft position. Chill out, guys. Please. It's annoying. But N'Keal Harry slander still stands. Marcus May also had a stellar season, coming 5th in overall for safeties in PFF grade with 82.9, was one of the better safeties in the league last season, not just talking about PFF or stats, just in general. But the main highlight player of the Jets, or lack thereof, was quarterback Sam Darnold. Every NFL fan knows that Sam Darnold has some untapped potential that the Jets could not get into because of the lack of competency from the coaching staff to the front office and the organization as a whole. He flashed some talent last season, but overall did not play too well, only having 9 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in 12 games. Again though, as we all know, or at least me, Sam Darnold has talent and potential, and I think Carolina, Matt Rule, Joe Brady and crew can make him the best version of himself. I mean, just look at all the weapons he has. McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Come on. It'll be the first time in Sam's career that he actually has a chance of success. Imagine that. Just imagine. All these factors, from Darnold's bad play, the coaching staff, and the team just not being good as a whole, led the entire league, fans, and media to assume they were going to tank for Trevor. And that was looking real throughout the year. By week 15, they were going to a game against the Rams at 0-13, while LA was 9-4 prior to the game. However, Adam Gase and crew decided to put on a show and win the game 23-20, losing them the number 1 pick as the Jaguars also were 1-13 after that game, their lone win coming against the Colts in week 1. The reason the Jaguars got the first pick, even though both teams were 1-13, is because the Jaguars had the tiebreaker with an easier strength of schedule, so they got the first pick. We then know the Jets won the next game over the Browns, which gave Jacksonville the number 1 pick no matter what. Or Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, officially. The Jets could not even lose correctly. Can they do anything right since Joe Namath was the quarterback? Jesus Christ, that was 52 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. That's just ridiculous. I mean, some teams haven't won, but I'm spoiled. Sorry, guys. Not my fault. But how is this the worst tank job in the past decade? Well, simply put, it just is. I would argue that the Jaguars with Minshew were going to win a few games. Maybe that is because I like Minshew, but who knows. However, Gardner only played 9 games and kept them in a couple of them. Not a lot, but a couple, and won a game. His efficient playstyle would have led to at least another 1 or 2 more wins, but without him, Mike Glenn and Jake Luton stunk it up and lost every game. All the Jets had to do was not beat 2 of the best teams in the NFL, both playoff teams with 10 plus wins, but Adam Gase and his coaching competencies decided to just finally win a game. Well, 2. And lose the quarterback prospect that was seen as the best quarterback in nearly a decade. They got stuck with, for lack of a better term, Zach Wilson, who personally I'm not the biggest fan of, but he definitely has talent and potential. Going 0-16 is bad for team morale, definitely makes some players mad in the end. But getting Trevor Lawrence is worth it. Just like how going 2-14 for the Colts was worth it to get Andrew Luck, how 0-16 was worth it for the Browns to get Baker Mayfield, and the year before that, 1-15 for Myles Garrett. Yes, tanking is bad for sports, but if your team is that bad and purposely losing, there's no way you can mess up that bad. Although I'm a diehard Patriots fan, I'm not a Jets hater. I know this video and my jokes about them in the past say otherwise, but it's just jokes, and this one is just like an actual idea of mine. I genuinely think that this tank job was really bad and they could have done a lot better, obviously, because they lost out on Trevor Lawrence, so I decided to make a video on it. But overall, we can agree that any sport without tanking is amazing. But when it happens, there's nothing we can do about it, as fans or even as the sports league, whatever league it is. Hopefully one day, it's no longer as big of an issue as it is across all leagues, but for now, we have to deal with it. And with all that being said, that is it from me, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Fanatic Sports. If you made it this far in the video, come on now, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It only takes about like 1 3/4 of a second to do. It's pretty easy. Also, follow me on Instagram at FanacSports25 and on Twitter at FanacSports. But before I go, do you think that the Jets tank job is the worst attempt to tank for a player in recent NFL history? If not, what team and what year? Comment that team down below.